Okay, and this time we're going to do section view. So we're doing problem P538 in the text. So we're given two views and we're asked to create a section view of the third view. And in this case, we want to sketch a half section as the missing view. So we're going to make this a half section. So I've already transferred two views that were given in the book. And then I've sketched kind of the outline of where our front section view is going to be. So first step will be to figure out what we're going to section. So obviously here's our interior features that we want to show, and we're told to do a half section, right? So our half section is going to come in, we're going to cut through the very middle here, halfway, and then come out. So basically we're like taking this whole chunk off, and then we're going to show the front view as if we've cut that piece out. And section lines take priority over everything else. Oh, and I drew it wrong, so it should have some openings in the middle here, like so, close enough. And then we're going to have the arrows pointing towards the section that we're keeping. So it's going to be that way. And then we're going to come down halfway. So like this. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful circles. Alright, so this is a section we're taking out, and we're going to now copy this onto here. So this half is going to be as if we were just looking at it here. So it's going to have some different features than the rest. So what's happening in this? So if we take a look at the side view with the top view, we can see that this lower part here is the majority of the material, and then this cylindrical part is actually the only tall bit coming out. So this is actually a solid, not a hole. And then these are cutouts on either side. So kind of looks like, and then we've got that cylinder coming up. And this stuff is all solid. Beautiful quick sketch. Okay, so now we're cutting through all that stuff. So this is going to kind of look something like that, right? But we'll have to figure out exactly what we're putting in there. So let's start on the side that's not cut. So we know it's going to come in 2 4 squares before we get to that cylinder. So the cylinder is going to start here and here. So we can build up these sides. And no matter if it's the cut section or not, we're still going to be able to see this outline. And then that cylinder comes up in the middle. Okay, so that's kind of our outline. And again, we're looking at the front, and we've got our cut lines. So this side doesn't have an arrow because it would be pointing that way, which doesn't make sense. And that doesn't make sense either. Now we've got, this is a cylinder. Oh, and that's why it doesn't go all the way through. That makes sense. So we can put our center mark in, which is also actually going to be our cut line. So if we're looking at it from the front, we're going to see this line all the way across, and then some stuff coming up there. So this line is going to continue out here and be visible, and then this is our cut. So we're going to have a cut line right here. Oops. And then everything on this side is going to be filled in with our section lines, or more commonly referred to as hatch marks, or hatching lines. But again, we've got this piece here that if we cut through here, this is just going to be open, right? So we're not actually cutting any material when we cut through this part. So if we transfer that down to here, that's going to be this line here. So this section is kind of like that inside curve here. So we're not cutting through anything there. We're only cutting through this part here. So normally we do 45-degree lines unless those are going to interfere with our features in our figure here, which they're not. So those are our hatch marks. So we've got our center lines, maybe tidy up the bottom a bit. And this is what we've actually cut through when we've done this cut, because remember that's the cylinder that comes up. So that's the only place we have to put our hatching. This is all solid. Make it more obvious that that's center mark, not part of the object. Other than that, looks good.